Hey, this is Dan from GigaBoots.com. I'm about to take you step by step through the Uncharted 3 trailer and unravel the many mysteries of the Table of Stuff. Assisting me today will be Dr. Agro.
Dan, do you know in what year John Dee wrote his Monos Hieroglyphica?
No, I don't.
Do you know where T.E. Lawrence spent his birthday in August of 1908?
No.
Do you know why you can't sail through Canada?
Because it's solid?
Yes, but do you know why Francis Drake thought he could?
No.
Then why don't you shut up and let me do what I'm here to do?
Can do, Dr. Agro, but real quick, let me break down the structure of this video for the audience. We're first going to detail the objects shown in the trailer and their origin.
We?
Then we're going to discuss what they mean within the context of this game.
There's that plural pronoun again.
So I'm Dan.
And I'm Dr. Agro.
From GigaBoots.com.
And when we're done raping this trailer, Alexander Pope is going to want to write a book about it.
Who the hell is...
Roll the trailer.
My name's Dr. Agro. I say roll the trailer when it's digital.
Ow! Okay, stop.
What's up, Doc?
What?
That was accidental, I swear.
Anyway, in this part of the pen, we can see 2 passports, a compass, a stack of pound notes, and a coffee mug.
Uh-huh.
None of which is important. Keep going. Okay, the journal. This is the big one. Left to right, we've got a circular emblem, after the fashion of a compass or a clock or something, circumscribed with the phrase, Sic Parvis Magna. This is actually the Drake family motto that appears in their coat of arms. It's translated below there as greatness from small beginnings. Now, this sketch of a castle is a little frustrating. We think it may be Crac de Chevaliers, or theirs, or French, where Lawrence spent his 21st birthday in the August of 1909, but working from just this drawing, it's nearly impossible to be certain. Moving down the page there, we can see Francis Drake's reported east-west passage through Southeast Asia. There's a lovely sketch of a ship labeled Draco just below that. Top of the second page is a map of France. This red line running in a loop through it is, in fact, the route that T.E. Lawrence took on a cycling tour of French castles in 1907 and '08. Going around this clockwise, starting at the top left, we have the year 1909, when Lawrence conducted his walking tour of Crusader castles in Syria, a phone number with a Greater London area code and the last 2 numbers smudged away, labeled only with the initials CC. Below that we have 3 names, Thomas, Philby, and Thesiger. There are also a few coins strewn here. We're not really sure whether they're French castle coins or later Crusader coins, which were made specifically to look like French castle coins. The shot just isn't good enough. Okay, keep going.
Wait, what about all this stuff? What are all these symbols?
We'll get to that later. For now, just keep going. Okay, here's our money shot. T.E. Lawrence, Lawrence of Arabia. We've got several pictures of the man himself, and even a copy of his book, The 7 Pillars of Wisdom, all sitting on top of a primitive map of the Rub al-Khali Desert in the south of Saudi Arabia. Now you've got 2 post-it notes on the table. The top one reads, and I'm probably ruining this pronunciation, Au frontis, I don't care. Lawrence actually carved this phrase into the lintel of his cottage, Clouds Hill. It's a reference to Herodotus' Histories, Book 6, in which Hippocleides gets smashed and dances like a jerk until Clistine's all like, "You can't marry my daughter." Hippocleides responds with this phrase to show that he's not going to let the man keep him down.
Wow, you sure you aren't embellishing a bit?
Yep. Second sticky note. Sort of important, kind of the whole plot of the game here. Ubar.
Ubar?
Yes, Ubar. Iram of the pillars. Irem of the lofty buildings. Ubar, city of 1,000 pillars. Atlantis of the sands. Irem Zet El Ahmad, jewel of Shaddad. Wabar.
We done here?
Yep, that's pretty much all of them.
Well, good thing we said them all. That was well worth the effort.
A city built to be a paradise on earth, made of gold and silver and the most precious of blah, blah, blah. Bedouin tradition held that somewhere out in the empty quarter, that's the big sandy area, there was a city called Ubar, which was made rich off the trade of frankincense.
Frankincense?
Frankincense. Frankincense!
No, seriously, what the hell's frankincense?
Google it. The Quran refers to this city as being populated by the tribe of Ad, the descendants of Noah. I'm pretty sure you can guess the legends from here. Rich and powerful civilization, huge catastrophe, city lost, unparalleled wealth for any who can find it. Here's the weird part, though. We kinda did. Back in the 80s, a filmmaker named Clapp heard that NASA was putting radar imaging equipment on the shuttle. Apparently, if you point radar at the ground from space, you can find centuries-old camel tracks. Yeah, I don't get it either. The important thing is, Clapp rounded up a ragtag group of archaeologists and adventurers and went out in 1990 and found evidence that these tracks had been part of the frankincense trade.
Frankincense!
Shut up. They then went to the known site of Ash Shisar, a waterhole with an old fort built on top. Digging a bit deeper, they uncovered a much older site beneath this with 8 towers connected by walls. The theory is that this might actually be the fabled city, and that its cataclysmic destruction happened when the large limestone cavern it was built on top of collapsed, plunging a large part of the city underground to be covered by the drifting sands.
And that, ladies and gents, is what Ubar is. Hey, there's that symbol again. Wow, that must be a stick figure, perhaps an alien.
That's stupid. You're gay and stupid. Now go back to the journal. That symbol is the Monus Hieroglyphica, a symbol created by 16th century mathematician, geographer, hermetic philosopher, doctor, astronomer, part-time spy, magus, and advisor to Queen Elizabeth I, John Dee. That's right, John Dee. You may remember him as the man who amassed what may have been the largest library in Europe during his lifetime. For the rest of you, imagine Gandalf, if he was Nicholas Fury. He describes the symbol in his eponymous book as a combination of the symbols for Luna, Sol, Elementi, and Ignis. You can actually see this breakdown tucked up under Brittany there. Now, it's actually really interesting. If you compare this symbol to Pythagoras' old constructions...
Pythagoras is going to be in the game? Is he?
No.
Why not?
I hate you. Anyway, moving on. The big magic circle you can see taking up most of this page is called the Secret Seal of Solomon. It's a sign used in Goetic theurgy to protect oneself from the influence of summoned spirits and to aid in compelling their obedience.
The Secret Seal of Solomon, the S3 program.
What?
Metal Gear Solid 2? You don't remember?
I have whiskey to help me not remember that.
Right. So what the hell does John Dee have to do with all this shit?
Well, that's kind of my point. Naughty Dog has gone to a lot of trouble to make sure that we know John Dee is involved in a story about the search for a legendary city that the West didn't really know about until the end of the 19th century. His name is even clearly written on the page under his little 007 signature. Why, you may ask? Ask me why.
Why?
Okay, you see that map over there on the left, the one of Drake's path through Southeast Asia?
You know, Doctor, I have been here for the past 3 days while you researched this.
Yes, but you're supposed to play dumb, so our audience has an eye-level character they can relate to.
Wow, that's just hurtful.
Perhaps. So here's the breakdown. Francis Drake sets out to sail around the world, or some shit, who knows what these explorer types get up to. Guy was probably baked. In 1577. He thinks he's going to be able to hook north on the western edge of North America and travel through the completely fictional Straits of Anian. A path, so the story goes, suggested to him by one John Dee. Well, then he doesn't find it. Canada. So he heads off west and cuts between China and Australia, then goes down to the Cape of Good Hope. If you look at that journal, though, it seems that Nathan is questioning this reported path. Flash forward a few hundred years. It's 1907 and T.E. Lawrence is taking a cycling tour of French castles. Then, 1 year later, he embarks on a walking tour of Crusader castles in Syria with a special emphasis on the similarities in architecture. Bertram Thomas, Harry St. John Bridger Philby, and Wilfred Thesiger? All British nationals who crossed the Rub al-Khali Desert and worked in Saudi Arabia. Thomas and Philby actually searched for the lost city of Ubar themselves. I think what Naughty Dog may be implying here is that John Dee may have sent Francis Drake, with or without his knowledge or collusion, on a hunt for this lost city. Hell, Drake may even have found it. The subtitle of Drake's Deception could be a reference to this instead of some dramatic character development between Nathan and Sully. Or both. Anyway, then Dee hid clues to the city's location and the architecture of certain French castles. Clues which were picked up on by Lawrence, who then went in search of the city himself. The press release accompanying the trailer outright says that Nathan will be searching for the Atlantis of the Sands, following the footsteps of Lawrence, Thomas, Philby, and Thesiger. What I can't seem to piece together, though, is the connection between John Dee and Ubar. And before any of you post a comment about the Grimorium Imperium, please, just spend 5 minutes on Google and learn to recognize the difference between hand-illuminated texts of the 16th century and cloister black font.
The what?
Grimorium Imperium.
What?
The Grimorium Imperium Necronomicon Attribuido a John Dee. Just... Ugh.
Now for what we don't know. We've spent countless hours looking up French chateaus and cannot find out which one is pictured here. For those who want to help, at the beginning of the clip on Jimmy Kimmel Live, there is a bust on the left. We know that if this bust is of a real person, it must be a Greek person, as the Romans were clean-shaven. Another hint is this remarkably hard-to-read text below the drawing of the castle.
We also don't know what's up with NDI Charter being written on this pencil. NDI could obviously mean a lot of things, but we're leaning toward National Democratic Institute. They're a democratic advocacy group that promotes, well, voting and stuff. They've been in Yemen for the last decade or so, but it's a mystery as to what they'd have to do with the game. A covert way for Nathan to get into the country, perhaps?
These symbols are also kind of a mystery to us. The fact that we couldn't find them is fairly impressive, as this research required scouring through a lot of books of black magic and the like that a certain Asperger-rageous roommate of mine collects.
Lonely internet celebrity wannabe says what?
What?
Moron. We also have this circle over here, around which is written the Drake family motto. It has these little red arrows inside pointing to the dots that separate the words. We're thinking it may be something that only has meaning in the context of the game. Or at least that's what we're going with, so we don't look as dumb for not knowing what it is.
I don't know, Doc. This list of things we don't know is getting pretty long.
Hey, you know what was long? The 3 days I spent researching this for free.
Anyways, thanks for watching this dissection of the Uncharted 3 trailer. If you noticed anything in the Uncharted 3 trailer that we didn't,
then you're probably Ozymandias. We should hang out.
For video reviews, quick plays, top 8s, and more, go to GigaBoots.com. Hey, Dr. Agro.
Yeah, what's up, Dan?
I think I'm gonna try out this research thing.
Alright, here you go. Really important. First thing to do, go with your first instinct. Okay, go.
Okay,
Come on. First instinct.
Hey, that thing, that stick figure.
Yeah.
It looks like an alien.
That's a great thing you did there, Dan. That was really good work.
Really?
No! If you ever see something that fucking stupid on the internet, I will beat you to death with my bare fucking hands.
But Kyle, I'm a smart guy with a popular website.
Yeah, I'll bet you are. You're an idiot.
I feel like I'm a disappointment to my fanbase for even asserting that that thing's an alien. That's just fucking dumb of me.
You are. And Dan, little foresight, in the future, if someone calls you out on it, you'd have to be some kind of simpering ninny fuck to complain about it.
Thanks, Dr. Agro. I learned a valuable lesson today.